All right, guys, back up here at TKM. I got a hat now. I'm waiting on my shirt, and then I'm on payroll, right? That's it. So we're here. It's bright and early. It is the following day. So, Chris, we're back up here bringing another. We got the 8.2 deck motor out, and got here bright and early. It's like 7:45, and we were just hanging outside. Didn't even think they're open yet. And Kevin's like, "What are you guys doing out here?" So, yeah. So invite us in and. Now this block here, which we're going to talk about today, is actually one that was in the video from yesterday. So I'll let you take it over from here. This one had is here for the top fuel hoops. Yeah, so basically the customer was in an area of it. Someone else had built it. He wasn't sure of the compression and amongst other things. Supposedly it has few runs on it, less than 10. But basically we want a top fuel hoop it. He's going to try to use the components that he had in it. So before we throw it in the mill and just go crazy on setup and things of that nature, what we'll do is we'll actually use a ferro arm here, and as you can see on the screen, he can plot out the dimensions of the deck, the left bank, right bank from the center of the crank location here. So with this technology here, we can see if the decks are leaning side to side. Measure accurate deck heights before we even put it in the machine. So this is like you're taking it from real life. You're gonna have it 3D, but it's gonna be exact and tell you everything that's going on with it. So you're not out here with the straight edge eyeballing it. Like it looks good for my house. You guys aren't doing that. No, basically, we're gonna just measure everything and make sure it is what it's supposed to be. If it's not, then at that point we can say, hey, well this deck height or this side is actually this deck height. This side's a different deck height, which you've seen in the videos, you see it all the time. But this will just verify that before we even put it in the mill. So you are making sure, like, it blows my mind, you guys are really going for perfection with all this. You're mapping everything out. Even before you're getting started, you're knowing what it's looking like and how everything's done. Yeah, I mean, that's the way you've got to do it, right? Well, I think a lot of people don't do it that way, but come here, this is what you get. This is why the stuff runs so well, goes fast, and stays together. This is why you have all of our stuff up here. Yeah, we hashtag all the time powers in machine work, but I really believe there's truth to that. One deck's leaning or different heights. How you tune a motor with two different deck heights. People do it all the time and don't even know it. But for a motor to be perfectly happy and do what it's supposed to do, it's got to be right. And I think that's crazy. So you guys are taking the time to go over this. I'm sure a lot of guys just take it and throw it right in whatever and deck it and on to the next one. So you guys are knowing exactly what's going on with this before you even get started. Oh yeah. So Derek, he'll measure this up, and I think he already has. Yeah. So what do you got here as far as deck height? So like this particular one, we've got 9.6179 and 9.62. So you're talking like 4 thousandths different on the deck height. Right. So it's not 100%. Not 100%. 4 thousandths, definitely. Yeah. Definitely 4 thousandths. It's definitely not. So for this setup, what does that mean for the future of this? Now it's got to go. Obviously, doing the top fuel hoops, you guys do stuff to the deck surface. Yeah. So at bare minimum, what we have to do is take the tallest side and deck it down to match the lowest side, because obviously we can't put material back. So what we have to do at bare minimum is skim the tall side to match the low side. That way they're both the same. At that point, then we can determine as far as piston the deck height and things, and make sure everything's good. But now we got an understanding before we ever put in the mill what we have to do. It's just one step before to make sure it buys us time. In other words, hey, if we see there's a real problem here and his rotating assembly is actually way in the hole or out the hole or whatever, then we would know, hey man, these parts don't add up to what we got here at this block. We got to do something totally different. All it's doing is buying us time. It's a quick way to find out what the problem is. Yep. So you don't have to go and set up the whole machine in there and get it ready and do all that. Come right in here and... Well, that machine's in there working right now, so we can be in here measuring this. This is a lot less invasive. Yep. You guys are too efficient for me. I'm not used to all this efficiency. You said most blocks that you get, come in here, check it out before it even goes into any machines? Most of them. Well, if like I said, in this case, the guy wants to use the same parts. It's not a very time-consuming thing. Derek does it here. To just check it before we even go forward. Like I said, the mill's in our running right now. We can check this in the mill like we have in the previous videos, but this guy here gives us before we ever throw it in the mill, we got an idea of knowing what we got to do before we even get it. going with it in the
What's your slogan? Horsepower is in the machine work.
Powers in machine work.
I like that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So pretty much right now we got everything all mapped out. So this is, I guess, almost like a virtual representation of the layout of the engine, how it sits right now.
Yeah, so it's just a blueprint of how this motor is in correlation from the crank center line, which is what everything is based off of, in the cam. So we got our crank to cam distance, which is 4.8054. So the driver's side bank is 9.621. The passenger bank is 9.6179. Each bank is supposed to be 45 degrees from the cam center line. So therefore you can see the passenger bank is just over 45 degrees and the driver bank is just under 45 degrees. And that's where you see the lean that we talk about in a lot of the other videos. Probably should have brought the 5.3 world record block in here and we could have put it on here and could have shown you on software what it was. Now in reality we run the last word across it. You know, we seen what it was, but here it kind of gives you a...
Yeah, now you get a concrete number that, like, you could see this one right here. They're supposed to be 40. Do you ever get them? I mean, when you guys are done with them, is that really like slam 45 on each side? And
pretty damn close.
That's awesome.
Pretty damn close.
That is crazy.
But that's why you got fixtures and CNC mills. If you don't have equipment to do that, I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you've been doing it for 50 years. If you don't have the equipment to do it, you can't do it.
You gotta have precision equipment.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
So how would you rate this block? Numbers, I'd say, are pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. I don't think it's just totally in left field. I just wanted you guys to show what we do here as far as trying to go above and beyond to make sure everything is perfect as it can be. And what we're going to do is fix this guy for sure. You know, we're going to fix the decks like we do on all the other jobs. And it's not much, you know, it's 2-3 thousandths from one side to the next. It's not an end of the world, oh my god, shit's gonna blow up. But it's something that we're gonna fix. You know, we got a top fuel hoop this thing anyway, so we'll definitely fix it up.
Well, you guys will be having 8.2 deck roll through here soon. We gave it to you kind of put together. We pulled the heads off it. That's as far as we got. But I'm sure that you'll find some interesting things on ours.
We'll
so
certainly get it up there and scan it and see what we got.
All right, so got the block all taken care of. This is one of the things that I do here. Obviously, getting it set up, finding all the numbers, everything you need to know. Another thing that they got here is this badass scanner. So this is a, I asked you once already, small block Chevy?
Yeah, this rocker stand here is for a small block Chevrolet that Mark was actually putting together a couple of days ago. We're starting on it. And he got to putting the fitment on as far as the rocker stands and realized, hey, the geometry ain't right here. So a lot of times, you know, Brazzel, T&D, they'll send rocker stand shims and whatnot, and there's nothing really wrong with doing that. But most of the time it pretty much consists of different thickness of washers to basically jack the stand up to achieve the correct geometry. So in doing that, in my opinion, it would be way better to basically reverse engineer the stand, and then instead of stacking washers up underneath each rocker stand bolt, what we're going to do is make a shim here out of the exact thickness we need that's exactly the shape of the stand that we had. So instead of shimming a bunch of washers up here, which again, I'm not trying to bash anybody, it's really what Brazzel, T&D, they'll send shim kits of different thicknesses to make that deal work. But at TKM, we try to go above and beyond, trying to raise the bar on every aspect of it. And again, we got technology of scanning this stuff, so we got lasers outside, so we can actually scan this, figure out exactly what it needs. I mean, as you can see, Derek has scanned this thing, and the fitment is just perfect. Being as we can do that, we don't have to do stuff like this. You know, sometimes in some applications, it's fine, don't get me wrong, but to go above and beyond, this is what we got. If you want to come over here, you can see where Derek has scanned this stand in, and you can just pretty much see there.
So is that you made a couple passes with it?
Yeah.
And this is what we got.
So basically, we'll just take some of this data that we got here, and this is just, I haven't even really got into scanning it, but you know, we gather all this information, and we'll use another software to get all of our data off of it, our holes, everything that we need. Then we'll take our file, send it out to the laser, we'll cut this shim, and then he's good to go, man. This is where it's at. I mean, we've got.
So all this was made here.
Yeah.
You didn't like call somewhere and.
No, everything's made here. We've got laser cutting machines. I mean, top of the line, brand new. They're the best you can get.
The camera definitely doesn't do justice. The fitment, like that is literally a perfect match. Like you couldn't build it. And I will say, you know, like you said, there's nothing wrong with the shim kit or the washer, whatever they provide. But that looks a whole lot sturdier. More, I mean, it's definitely going to do its job.
Yeah. So if you think about it and you shim this stand up with washers, really you only have this much of a footprint holding the stand, right. So it's more chance to give you deflection.
Yep.
Whereas if you put this on here,
you have the full footprint of the stand.
Yep. Like Derek said, the full footprint. I mean, it's way more rigid. You're gonna hold your valve train way more stable. Therefore, higher RPMs, bigger powers.
Yep. By no means did you have to, I mean, if they gave you a shim kit, you could have been good with that. But I guess the TKM way is do it right. That's right. And, you know, the best, and something like that, that is crazy.
We're going to use our abilities to the fullest and give the customer the highest quality.
Well, that's what you get when you come TKM. You know, everything is done to perfection, above and beyond. And that really blows my mind because I couldn't tell you how many times I'm throwing washers on everything. I had a damn strip bolt out there. I got a bolt about this long with 7 washers on it, you know. That's my way. So, but that right there, I mean, it's a perfect match. Yep. And really, I guess the possibilities are endless. You need something custom made. You got it, the abilities and the technology here to get it done, which I don't think is common. Seeing all of this stuff everywhere, I don't think it's too common.
Like I said, it goes back to you got to have tools to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, that's just part of it. I mean, just got to have tools to work with.
That's right.
You guys are probably over here scanning each other's heads when you guys get some downtime, right? You're like, oh, look, I'm 3D now. All right, guys, so this is why we're up here at TKM. We got the 8.2 deck, nasty 8.2 deck motor out of the Mustang. Chris, came out pretty quick. Yeah, very fast. Pulled it out real quick. The teardown video for this engine is on the LS Nasty YouTube channel, so go and check that out. But pretty much what we got here is it was just absolutely smoking the head gasket. I mean, just blown straight out. So brought it up here. It's going to get the TKM top fuel hoops. It is just going to get once over on everything. They're going to check everything. It's set up with aluminum rods. It should have a good crank in it, but after we get it back, we're going to know exactly what's in it. And we're going to run literally all of the boost. I mean, all of it. So we're in good hands here. Cornbread's got taken care of. And yeah, so it should work well. I disassembled the bare minimum. Oh, look, I got you set up here. Look at this.
Look at that. The chain.
Homemade.
Yo, all right. See, when you bring Ford motors, you can't have a nice plate.
Yeah, I got like my lift plate.
That came off your pit bull in the backyard, didn't it?
Yeah.
What's he on now?
But yeah, we should be good to go. Oh yeah, there's a little extra, but you know, that never hurt.
Big dog.
Yeah.
Damn, what you need me to let down?
Yeah, go ahead. Uh-oh. You guys know what you're doing around here?
We're learning. We learn fast, though. Ready? Double pump. The life of an 8.2.
I know, right? Hey, I said out of all the motors we got, this is the first engine issue we've had. Head gaskets, we'd tear those up. But this,
that's an Eagle crank.
Eagle?
Yep. You can see the bird on it.
Alright guys, it is later in the evening. It's like 9-10 o'clock. We're moving stuff around, hooking up trailers, moving cars in and out.
Got the Flowmasters rumbling.
The Flowmasters are rumbling. I did a terrible job explaining what kind of went on today. You guys saw, these videos are so backlogged. I had one day where I filmed like 3 or 4 videos because we just had so much going on. Couldn't put it all in one video. But pretty much what we have going on is we ended up pulling the motor out of the Mustang, took up TKM, looked at it. Because of that video you guys saw last week where it was acting up and something was making noise in the valve train. We didn't know. We pulled it apart. I think we found a rocker stand that was bad, and so we took it up there just to be safe. We knew the engine had we were told the engine had aluminum rods. We were told it had a billet crank. I think we were told it had a billet crank.
I believe.
I don't know, but it doesn't have a billet crank. It's got an Eagle crank in there. And I said to Kevin and Cornbread, I said, hey, you know, Eagle crank. Everyone knows the reputation of the Eagle crank. You know, I was like, well, what's the limit? And they laughed. They're like, well, you're probably past it right now. So Chris and I looked at each other and we said, all right, we'll put it back in there. We'll just get an engine diaper. So we're gonna hit up RJS, get an engine diaper.
Good part is if it fails, it's not going to be like a catastrophic, like rods flying out.
Generally, if a crank breaks, it just breaks.
Yeah.
And cranks don't break that much. I mean, there's guys out here going like 490s on stock cranks, on like a stock GM crank. So I have good faith in it. The block it's a pretty slick block.
Aluminum rods too.
Aluminum rods.
It has like a buffer.
Yeah, they're much lighter too, aren't they?
Yeah, they're lighter and they have like a squishability.
Yeah.
Cushiony.
Oh, cushion. Like the bubble?
Yeah.
The bubble. Well, other than that, great, awesome time at TKM. Those guys, we asked them, said, hey, can we turn this around a little bit quicker? They said, not a problem. And the customer service, the machine work, the quality, everything, dealing with them 100% all the way around is absolutely unmatched to any other program, any other shop, any other machine shop, anything. You really can't beat it. Their information's in the description below, but I do want to say this. They are a busy shop. They're doing a bunch of work. If you're just calling them to kick tires, please refrain. I put these videos up to give you a lot of information. Just watch the videos. You can get the information. Don't call up there and be like, hey, man.
Basically, he doesn't want to hear about your cousin's brother's Nova that has a big block in it that might get built in 2 years.
You know what? God, you're so harsh. He's always just flaming everybody. But no, if you are serious about, you know, inquiring about work, please give them a call. But if you're just calling to say, hey, I saw you on the John Doc YouTube channel and all that, they are business. So please give them that respect to let them, you know, get the work done that they need to get done.
If you need a motor built, there's no better place.
There's no better place. So
They can get it done very fast.
yeah, they can. So other than that, that's gonna wrap today's video. And we'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload. Don't forget, vote for Drag Illustrated 30 under 30. We might be going no prep racing this weekend, but that's all we got to say. Other than that, we'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.
It's pretty straight.